Hi there traders, welcome to Elite Currency. My name is Chris and this video is all about the euro dollar and pound dollar. As always, we have 3 updates per week on the weekend, Tuesday and Thursday. So let's take a look what we can expect in the last 2 days of this week. Euro dollar daily chart, you can see nothing really happened that much the last 2 days. We have 2 dojis and those dojis becoming even smaller, and the range between the high and the low is just a mere kind of like 70 pips on day 1 here and even less on the second day yesterday, that is. So very low volatility, not much movement, and price is kind of hanging around that top part of the 21 EMA band. So it is still the same story as Tuesday. Is this basically an attempt to break out? Then price would really need to push above 124.50, 125 zone before we can have a good break to the upside and a continuation of the wave 5. Once again, I am talking about this wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and price would really need to break above this zone up in here before we can start with the wave 5, or that there's a better chance that this is indeed the wave 5. There could be a break right away, but that price stops at that resistance zone and then turns down again and then up again, all right? Because this is a pretty sizable consolidation zone, so there's every chance that this could just continue sideways for a few more days. Not a problem. The other alternative is that price falls right away and then completes the correction by falling towards support. In that case, it will complete an ABC. That's the first correction, another ABC, and then one more ABC like this for a 3-wave down, W, X, Y, within the wave 4. All right. So I think that it's a very difficult spot. It could make a fall towards the support. It can make a move up towards resistance and fall again. What I'm really interested in is catching price as it bounces at support for upside from a trading perspective, or if it breaks the bigger resistance for a bullish breakout. Those are the 2 trades I like the most, because this breakout right here, I'll do that in red, in red like this, that's risky because we're really bumping into resistance pretty soon. I mean, it could be tradable on a smaller time frame, perhaps a breakout towards 124.50, 125. This breakout to the downside, there is some space, but you're bumping into 123.25, 122.50, 122. Those are support levels where price could turn back up again. So yet again, maybe tradable to the downside, but only on a lower time frame, perhaps not too interesting, those 2 particular smaller breakouts. So let's take a look at this 4-hour chart. Moving averages are aligned to the upside, but as we can see, that doesn't say much. Look at price going sideways for so long. So it's a tricky environment. Even on the 4-hour chart, you can see that pretty clearly. So if price breaks through this support trend line, there could be a breakout to the downside, but be careful because of this 123.25. As I said, it's still a support zone here. If it breaks that, there could be a bit more space. Upside, that mini break we talked about, perhaps possible if price breaks through this particular resistance trend line, but the space above that towards the next resistance zone here is very, very small. So no wonder the price is choppy and corrective like this. Tough chart at this moment. Pound dollar, as we were saying, made a bounce at the previous top. It was going into that resistance zone we already mentioned. And on Wednesday, we had a reversal candle. Yesterday, we had a follow through to that. And I think that today we could see one more push lower or a little bit of retracement of the last 2 days bearish move. But the retracement should follow through to the downside again. So I'm more bearish at this moment on the pound dollar, despite the fact that all the moving averages are bullishly aligned. I think that more retracement is possible, or even a reversal. That is still unknown at this point. But bigger pressure to the downside is possible, or at least sideways movement. I don't expect a break of the higher high. You never know, but that's not what I expect at this moment. I'll tell you why on a 4-hour chart. For me, this is starting to look like either an ABC, all right, or a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if it breaks this bottom, that would be a 5th wave. It could fall to the long-term moving average around 141, and it seems to have completed the 5-wave in that case, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 waves, that could indicate either a bearish reversal, because this could be then in that case a wave 1, and up it goes for wave 2, and then down it goes for wave 3, or a wave A, B, C, right? So as you can see, if we get the 5th wave, there should be a bullish bounce, but then after that, for the wave 2 or B, but then after that, a continuation lower. So in that case, bearishness makes sense. If price doesn't break for a lower low, but on a 1-hour chart makes a bounce, right? It looks like it's going to move lower, but instead turns, breaks above the moving average, and goes above this bottom, which is the bottom of wave 1. In that case, basically we would be, let me take away, move this one. In that case, this is more likely to be an ABC. Price is making another ABC, probably, and will be making kind of an expanded correction. In that case, I would still expect a turn for another ABC down, or a 5-wave down is also possible. So as you can see, whether price breaks this bottom or not, I do expect resistance up around here as price makes a retracement. The question is, will it make a lower low and then make a retracement up 3 waves, or will it make 3 waves up here? I would only, I guess I would only consider upside to be valid again if price breaks above the 21 EMA, makes a bull flag, and then starts to break that bull flag. That would probably be the only case where I would consider upside to be more likely than, for the moment, downside, and a larger reversal or correction on this pound dollar. So, this particular trade, this particular breakout is very small, but there is maybe some space on the lower time frame. It's riskier, but possible. After that, I'm expecting ABC. If it breaks above the 21 EMA, I expect this not so much space here, right? Not so much movement, because of the fact that it could be running into a wave 4 when we put a fib from here to here, like this. So this upside is very limited. It could hit resistance and move down for that wave 5. So upside not, downside maybe from either the break or as price hits these fibs and turns. Alternatively, if price does break to the upside for a bigger push up, I would still consider 61.8 and the 78.6 fib to be bouncing spots for downside. Only if price were to make a bull flag in this zone would that change my opinion. And by the way, one more note, I remember talking on Tuesday about the fact that price was here and that this was not a good moment to trade longs because of the bigger resistance zone, and that indeed proved to be true, right? Price turned at that spot almost immediately after that, and I said that it depends how it will correct. If it goes sideways and makes a flag, it's good for continuation. But if there's any sign of momentum, be careful, because that could indicate a bigger reversal, a bigger correction. And momentum we did get indeed. Look at this break. The main difference between a flag and a momentum is how it behaves versus the 21 EMA. You see the price here stays above the 21 EMA, or in it. Here, it broke well below it. So this is momentum. And you can see that then we got a flag that went into the 21 EMA, and then we got a break below that flag, and we got an expansion of that correction. So this is what I was trying to warn for on Tuesday, was that if there's momentum, be careful of the bigger bearish pressure that's possible. If it shows a flag, then a continuation like it did here is possible. We got the momentum. That was a warning sign number 1 right here, that we could get an expanded further downside. More of these concepts we explain if you join either SWAT system or our live ECS Live service, and we have a full course explaining this and more angles as well. You can of course also keep benefiting from the free analysis if you're just looking for free things like our tools, indicators. You can download that through ECS Start, or our free analysis of course as well. Wish you all good trading, and cheers.